Hello. Doesn't look like we have anybody in here yet. Queen was here earlier. Hello, hello. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Rachel's face. I love that. Hi, Bobby and Gizmo. Hello. Welcome. Hey, Happy. Good to see you. Hey, Sicilian. How is everybody doing? Hey, Jeffrey. Legs. Hey. Good to see you. You know, the last 2 nights I just came out on late with no plan of anything, and we ended up laughing so hard. Oh my God. It was hilarious. Did I watch the contact? Oh, I listened to some of it. I had an appointment late this evening, so I was actually at the dentist. So I listened to some of it. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a bunch of bull crap. How are you, Legs? You weren't here the last couple of nights. I came on really late, though. And I came on late for Arizona, much less East Coast, you know. Hi, Gabi. Pretty sure that's nothing. What's going on? Oh, God. So you'll have to go back and watch. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I like how he said he would agree to a, okay, it's all right. We're okay. Like how he said he would agree to the golf game, but not the cognitive test. Okay. Song logs. I know it was late, Legs. It was late. I know. You're burning it at both ends. You are. I know. Well, really, what can he say? He doesn't know what's going on. Hey, Queen. Happy birthday to your princess. Gary was here the other night, but we kept her up really late. So last night she was rocked out. But she's been here other than that, Shabby. Me too, legs. I hope so. I give you a lot of credit, though. You know, there's a lot of people that don't just step up and do what they need to do, and I give you a lot of credit for that. Hi, Ryan. Oh my gosh, legs. Yikes. Mm, he needs to do it though. I know you have legs. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody does that though. I admire a lot. Yeah, it scares me for him to put it off. Um, we need everybody to say prayers for Frazzled. No, I know, legs. I know. I know. It is. It's really. It is. And I love that about both of you. I do. I just worry. Definitely. There she is. Hey. Hey, Gary. Um, yeah, she's having exactly. Right. Right. Legs 100%. Yeah, she hasn't been feeling real well. But I did talk to her today and she just needs prayers. Yeah. She said her order came in that she ordered from Jerry's shop, um, from the giveaway um, gift card, and she said everything came in and she absolutely loves it. She wanted to make sure that Jerry knew that everything was beautiful. Yeah, put your link in here too, Jerry. Yes, definitely. Me too. Love my frazzled. Yeah, if you're listening, frazzled, everybody is praying for you. Lake said she'll be praying a lot while she's driving, and Sicilian and Gabi, everybody. and Jeffrey, and happy. Everybody's praying for you. We all love Frazzled. Yeah, me too. I sent her that thing also, Queen. I did send that to her. So I want to start in on Rachel Mitchell. Thing is, me too, Gabi. Me too. Yeah. I hope I'm not having issues. My internet went out earlier. It was just gone. So Rachel Mitchell, she's the Maricopa County attorney. She's up for re-election right now. You know, so many times an incumbent just stays in. People don't. Everybody says they want everything to change. They don't like the way shit is, but they don't get rid of the people that are in there. But whatever. I don't need to get into that. I find it disgusting. She is known for that. Yep. She was involved in the Kavanaugh hearings. She was. She needs to be more well known for some of the shit she's done here in Arizona that is wrong. So I'll just go through this really quickly. She's an Arizona native, a veteran prosecutor with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for the past 30 years. She's dedicated her career to protecting families by prosecuting crimes against children, ensuring the integrity of our legal system, and leading teams of prosecutors to hold dangerous criminals accountable. Okay. Yeah, Mitchell rose to national prominence when she served as nomination investigative counsel and questioned both Dr. Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh during Justice Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings for Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. She served as acting Maricopa County attorney after the appointment of Bill Montgomery to the Arizona Supreme Court, and previously served as a chief deputy county attorney and chief of the Special Victims Division. What you might remember when she had a press conference when they finally made arrest in the Preston Lord case. Oh, legs, what a shit show, right? That was, people should have gone to jail for that shit. A lot of people should have gone to jail for that. That was a big fucking waste of bullshit. It was a big fat lie. It was absolute bullshit. Yeah. I can't even, the fact that that even went on is fucking shameful. Yes, her press conference trying to come down on social media, which really struck a nerve in me because, you know, the Preston Lord case, the Gilbert Goons, they're not getting a lot of national recognition anyway. But any recognition that came from any of that came from social media. period. And she had a problem with social media. Of course she does, because they tell her bullshit. They haven't told all of her bullshit. We're going to start talking about her a little bit. Oh, I need to check this. Mr. Snotty is just boarded his flight. Hold on 1 second. Hello, Adam. How are you? Happy birthday. Right? Today's your birthday. All of a sudden I'm wondering if I'm crazy. Thank you so much for that. Yes, thank you. Hope you have enjoyed your day, your special day. I feel like we should watch that press conference again. I'm nervous about my stupid internet. I don't know why I'm having, God. I have nothing else going in the house. No TV is on. I have my phone on data. I don't know what the hell. We should probably warm up with that. Yes, it was really good day, and thanks everyone. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Hmm. Okay, let's. I really can't even stomach the sight of her, if you want to know the truth. But so we'll watch this, and then I'll show you some other things with her. She's a real treat.
I don't want to cover up a microphone. Am I okay here, sound-wise? Everybody okay? Good evening, everyone. Today, a grand jury has indicted 4 people in the murder of Preston Lord. And before I discuss the details of these indictments, let me remind you that we are talking about the death of a 16-year-old boy. As I have said in the past, I have spoken with his family, and they are in agony. The loss of a child is unimaginable for most of us, but to live it is a whole new level of horror. I do want to say this to all of those who have continued to post innumerable, unfounded, ill informed theories on social media. I hope you will pause and consider and evaluate the effect that you may have had on this family over the past several months.
What? The people posting on social media? You mean like the thugs that bragged about what they did? Is that the ones you're talking about? Because oh, the debate, I listened to a little bit of it while I was running around. I had a dentist appointment this evening. So I missed some of it, but oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, she hopes that, how, because of social media, how it made the family feel. How about you not doing your job? None of you.
Because now you are about to see the crucial steps of the real legal process at work. This has taken months, but not because no one was working on it. Quite the contrary. And I'll say more about that in a moment. The following people were indicted today: Dominic Turner.
Okay, so we won't listen to all of that, but when she's talking about the legal process, right? All the work they did, and yeah. Well, I'll just show you two little scandals she's involved in. And yeah. And I hope that social media does get all over this. Okay, here's one. And listen to how combative she gets. She doesn't like, so funny, she doesn't like to be questioned. Yeah, well, you're a public servant, okay? Oh, thank you, Adam. You too. Listen how she goes. I love this reporter is so good. She's not having it. She's really trying to. So what this is talking about is, well, they'll explain it better probably, but there was an issue with the judge that we had here locally who was really, actually what she was doing was behaving extremely immature. Her and her staff doing stupid shit. And she was busted. So that's what this is about. But sorry, I put my sound on because on my phone, I usually turn it off, but I'm not showing that I have text messages lately. So I have to have my sound on. Hey, Louie. Louie. Don't worry about that. Seriously. I'm not even sure what. Okay. Okay. Listen to how combative. I'm telling you. This bitch.
Well, that doesn't actually answer my question.
Well, because I asked the questions, though. I'm the journalist, and you're the public official, and that's why I'm here.
And I'm clarifying.
Because no one has agreed to an interview on this throughout the entire year.
A tense exchange between ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biscopine and County Attorney Rachel Mitchell.
Yeah, the State Bar of Arizona just disciplined one of Mitchell's top prosecutors. It's because of Dave's dishonorable investigation. We exposed Judge Erin Otis and her staff exchanging cruel and obscene emails during hearings and trials. Otis quit the bench to join the county attorney's office as a death penalty prosecutor. Now, throughout the year, officials declined.
Can you believe that shit? This woman, yeah, remember, she was absolutely the shit that her and her staff were doing right in the middle of hearings and in the middle of court. It was gross. It was gross. Completely. So listen to what Thunder Thighs does here with that shit. Can't stand this bitch.
Repeated on-camera interview requests.
But the state's bar's case raises some serious questions for MCAO. That's why Dave finally went to question the county attorney in person.
It's a rare admonition, the State Bar of Arizona punishing an attorney for their past conduct as a judge. Here's the final order. Quote, Erin Otis is admonished for her conduct relating to failure to supervise court staff and for unprofessional communications with court staff. She was also disciplined for contacting the Maricopa County Attorney's Office regarding potential employment while employed as a judge. And that brings us to Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell.
Okay, that wasn't Rachel Mitchell who did that. That was another judge. But listen how she's handling it. Sorry, I hope I didn't. That one judge, though, yeah, complete gross. Her and her staff were talking about people's clothes, their hair, during very serious trials and shit. Like, it was. Listen how she handles this shit, though. See, look at her face. She does not like anyone to tell her anything. That's why she wanted to get pissed off about social media, because shit came back at her.
She declined sit-down interview requests. So at a recent press briefing, we asked about her office's hiring of former Judge Erin Otis to be a death penalty prosecutor.
You were in communication with Miss Otis while she was a sitting judge, texting her about certain job opportunities. Was that appropriate for you to do as a division chief at the time, to be texting with the sitting judge and not making sure that conflicts were discussed and checked?
I've issued a statement about that to you in the past, as you know, and that simply was a matter of somebody who used to work here asking what the current salary structure is for this office, and me just simply telling her what that was. I was not in any position to negotiate employment.
Read the text messages for yourself. Mitchell asks, "What do you want to do?" Otis responds, "Probably a supervisory position or capital unit." Mitchell replies, "Bureau Chief of Family Violence, Otis, that would be great."
CR 2010.
You believe that? No, that is not. She just said exactly.
And don't forget the history here. At the time, Otis was still presiding over a major murder case and was under judicial investigation. That's a huge conflict.
Believe that? She was presiding over a murder case while she's playing fucking childish games with her staff and talking to her boss about getting them just moving her to a different job, basically. And then that one lies about it, though. That's the thing. She fucking lies about it.
And ethical violation, according to legal experts.
What I did was I informed her of what the new salary structure was, because
You didn't. That's not what the text message shows. You discuss specific jobs. Bureau chief or capital. How do those sound to you? That's your text message.
I was simply giving her the salary structure, and the salary structure is dependent upon what jobs the person takes. So, no, I don't feel like anything was wrong in that.
Before the State Bar's investigation, Otis was also under investigation by the State Judicial Conduct Commission. Our investigation found the State Commission gave her a private warning letter, but dismissed the case and scrubbed her name from the public file.
Nobody is perfect, and when somebody does make a mistake, I expect them to take responsibility for it. I expect them to be held accountable for it. And then I expect everybody to strive to do better.
We also
Okay, yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Guess what? When you are a sitting judge, fucking behave yourself. No, that's not just a mistake. That means you have there's a very big problem with your fucking character. No, that's not just about making mistakes. Oh my God. And again, you know what? I'm going to talk about her the way I don't talk about people other than like man tits. You know, I had to say man tits because I can't stand who Chad is. Not because I really worry about man tits. But this stupid bitch, her hair, her fucking everything about her makes me sick.
discovered MCAO has worked to keep Otis's judicial misconduct secret. This is one of the first murder prosecutions Otis took over after leaving the bench. A pair of defense attorneys in the case raised Otis's past, so MCAO quickly asked the judge to seal information about it.
So do you feel that she is an ethical enough person to prosecute people in death penalty cases?
I accept her statement that she's taken responsibility for her actions. Yes, I accept that she is going to strive to do better. And if you have information that that's not the case, then I would be interested in looking at that.
So
do you have information that this type of behavior is ongoing?
Have you read the State Bar's final findings?
I'm asking you, do you have information that this is ongoing?
Now let's pause here for a second. The woman sitting behind us is Ellen Dahl. She's a top prosecutor who was on the same murder case in front of then Judge Otis, while Otis was asking for a job with MCAO. And if Mitchell did read the State Bar's investigation, she'd know that during the same case, Otis attended an out-of-state wedding with Dahl for the marriage of 2 other prosecutors, and no one told the defense. Unfortunately, we didn't notice Dahl during the press conference, but if we did, we would have brought it up to Mitchell when she kept asking us questions.
I'm asking about the Judicial Commission. I'm asking about the State Bar's investigation into matters that went on. I guess I'm surprised why you're trying to now twist it to ask me to give you proof of your employee's option in something that I'm not asking about.
Well, that doesn't actually answer my question.
Well, because I asked the questions, though. I'm the journalist, and you're the public official, and that's why I'm here.
And I'm clarifying.
Because,
boom, don't you love that? Right. You're not answering fucking questions. Wait till I show you the next fucking scandal she's into and the response. This is a small one, guys. This stupid bitch. Got a lot of nerve. Look at you. You don't owe anybody any answers. Bullshit.
no one has agreed to an interview on this throughout the entire year.
David, I've talked to you on the phone about this. I've issued statements to you. This office has issued statements to you. We've
not had an interview like this moment right now. You've spoken to me on the phone where I've spoken to your press people and you sit there, but you have not really spoken.
I have talked to you personally one-on-one on the phone on this, and I've issued personal statements. And I'm sorry that that's not sufficient for you.
It's not.
What I'm saying is if there are additional...
No, you issuing a statement is not you answering a question and being held responsible yourself. Because the next one is absolutely her. It's not even about somebody else. It is fucking about her. Oh, I cannot with her. Look at you. She thinks, you know what? This is a problem with these people. They get to a position and they think that they're untouchable. They don't have to answer to anybody. And you want to come out and talk shit about other people, what happened to those, what social media did to that family of Preston Lord. Guess what? He might still be alive had any of these people done their damn job and taken care of these fucking goons while they were wreaking havoc everywhere. Right, Cecilia? I love him. I love this guy. Seriously. She does look evil. She does, huh? You can just see it in her face. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys about what her hobby is. Oh, good God. I'll have to go. I'll do that in a minute.
No concerns. I'm willing to listen to them.
Okay.
I've listened to you. Are there any other questions? Jason.
I'm investigator Dave Biscobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
Dave's been working on this investigation all year. This weekend, he just aired a special hour-long report, and it has much more than the emails and memes. It also exposes the extreme secrecy with how Arizona disciplines and investigates judges. You can find Dave's whole special at abc15.com/dishonorable and on the ABC 15 channel of your favorite streaming device.
Okay, so next time we talk about her, we're going to watch that. You have to see the next one she's involved in because I cannot with her. Hi, Aquarium baby. She does look evil. I forgot to tell you this part, okay? When not fighting for justice in her community, really? Rachel is playing percussion for her church orchestra. Yeah, don't. Don't even. Okay, you guys, be ready for this because you thought you didn't like her already. This one infuriates me. Right, handling all that misconduct. She was her boss at the time, even. And then talking to her about how they were going to get her in somewhere else. What the hell? Oh, what am I doing here? Hold on. I pushed the wrong button. So I wanted to tell you guys about these two things, and then I'm going to go in deeper on another one. I'm going to go in deeper on both of those situations because they're not good. Oh, wait, no. That's it. Yeah.
Chief Investigator Dave Biscobing has been covering for months.
Yeah, a bar complaint was just filed against Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell and two of her top prosecutors. It was filed by the defense attorneys for Nubia Rodriguez. She's the woman criminally charged after Phoenix police officer Paul Rutherford ran into traffic without looking. He did not survive. The court found this case was filled with problems.
But the county attorney's office kept pushing forward. Here's Dave Biscobing with the very latest. Dave.
Yeah, it was about a month ago that the court finally tossed the criminal case against Nubia Rodriguez for good. Now, we sat through days of hearings, and it was clear to the judge that the charges had no business being brought. But now Rodriguez and her attorneys, well, they want accountability.
For 3 years, police and prosecutors refused to accept that Officer Paul Rutherford's death was a tragic accident. So they charged Nubia Rodriguez with negligent homicide. Now in a 46-page bar complaint, her attorneys are accusing lead prosecutor Tiffany Brady, MCAO executive Ken Vick, and county attorney Rachel Mitchell of ethical misconduct. Quote, Nubia Rodriguez committed no crime. It was obvious. After all three prosecutors were repeatedly presented with indisputable evidence that the allegations of negligent homicide were unfounded, they continued their prosecution.
Okay, really? Wait till you see, though. You know what this does to somebody's life? This is I can't. I cannot.
Investigations into attorneys are handled by the State Bar of Arizona. So when someone alleges misconduct against a lawyer, they file a bar complaint. And this complaint highlights a long list of issues. A few of them: hiding video evidence from the grand jury, making false and untruthful statements to the grand jury, and using speed data they knew was faulty. But here's...
Can you believe that? Withholding evidence from the grand jury. I mean, exactly, Jeffrey. Right. What this costs, oh my God, financially, in every way, what it costs for this to happen to you. Hey, try me, bitch. Oh my God.
Maybe the clearest example. This nearby business security video shows Rutherford ran out into traffic without looking, and this was never shown to the grand jury. In the complaint, it says, without that video, defense counsel believes Ms. Rodriguez would likely be a felon by now.
Well, good afternoon, everybody.
And that's because the complaint also says County Attorney Rachel Mitchell was involved in the decision to continue prosecuting this case. Brady stated that Mitchell reviewed this matter with her. She also stated that Mitchell had approved the plea offer. The plea required Ms. Rodriguez to plead guilty to a felony and serve at least a 1-year term of jail.
Criminal negligence mean.
Now that video, it was a key factor to the judge who finally dismissed the case.
She knew. She withheld that. They falsified documents. Oh no, it's not. It's not, Aquarium baby. Of course it's not. This one really pissed me off when she came out trying to accuse social media of upsetting Preston Lord's family. If it wasn't for social media, I don't know that anybody would be arrested today, charged or any, I don't know. By the way, Jacob Pennington, they're still. We'll go and look at that one in a second. Oh my God. This stupid bitch. To ruin this woman's life like this? Why? It's just fucking gross. It's disgusting.
What matters is he appeared from a place that he shouldn't have been to a regular driver, whether he was an officer or not.
Right.
He ran out in front of her.
You know, it's a tragedy for all involved.
The bar complaint also goes after the county attorney for statements her office made to ABC 15 during our coverage of the case.
I think she
it
will,
alleges
right?
a failure to
so.
supervise because MCAO and Mitchell claimed there was, quote, no ethical misconduct in the case. And if there's any indication of how the judge felt about the case, here's what he said as he made the final decision to throw it out for good.
And I wish I wasn't here giving this news to his family, but I am. And I'm sorry that that's the case. I'm also sorry to the pain that has continued for others, including Ms. Rodriguez.
Rodriguez was a licensed therapeutic foster mother. At the time of the crash, she was in the process of adopting a special needs child in her care. The state took away that child after the charges were filed.
Can you believe that shit? Oh. And she wants to get all pissy with everybody. She don't like to answer questions. I hope she doesn't, but too many times incumbents just stay in. People just do it because people don't pay attention. She does have a big lawsuit. Yes, she does. Yep. You don't think, Aquarium baby, you don't think so? I hope not. To ruin a woman's life, oh my God. and having the proof and refusing. That's criminal itself. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, DC. You know, today I was thinking how the last couple of nights we were laughing about all that shit, and I forgot to mention the alleged facts. I certainly hope so. I hope so. I can't stand the sight of this bitch. I cannot.
Now, we reached out to the county attorney's office for comment as soon as we learned about the bar complaint this afternoon, but instead of receiving a statement from MCAO, Rachel Mitchell's campaign sent us a statement, and it says, this meritless complaint is nothing more than a political...
Meritless complaint. Really? God. You ruined someone's life. For what reason? Because I think this woman has a fucking ego the size of her ass. She doesn't admit when she's wrong. She's not going there. I don't know what could possess you to just really sleep at night when you're ruining somebody's life. So, oh man, I can't stand her. I cannot. Yeah, meritless. Yep.
hit job timed to coincide with Tuesday's election. It's unfortunate that ABC 15 would fall for this obvious ploy. Now, hit job was their term. We wouldn't use that term for such a sensitive story about an officer who died in the line of duty. But we also reached out to the defense attorneys who filed the complaint. They declined to comment, saying the 46 pages speak for themselves. We posted the whole thing at abc15.com/investigators. And there you can also see all of our reporting on this case. I'm investigator Dave Biskobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
Yes.
Oh, there is a lot of human. Yeah, there is. You put it in chat, DC? Oh my God, I didn't even notice it. Oh my God. Yeah, they can't believe that they fell for it. But it fell for what? Your bullshit? Political hit. Oh my God, I can't stand that woman. I certainly hope that but you know, this kind of stuff goes on all the time, and if people would pay attention, and hopefully we can start doing more of that kind of shit with social media, bringing that stuff out and showing these people for who they are. And she was like, oh, well, people make mistakes. If you take accountability, you take accountability. You take responsibility for your bullshit. Hey, Zero. Oh, she's, I cannot stand her at all. She's just disgusting. I'm going to be doing at least once a week for next couple of weeks for sure. Bringing up whatever I can find. Next time we'll go through that other video that they talked about, bringing out all that stuff from the Otis case, because she's just lying. And she doesn't want to be called out. No, of course she doesn't. Nobody does, you know. Who does? Nobody wants to be called out, but too bad. And instead of, she's always getting up talking shit about other people like she's doing her job. And those kids were putting on social media what they were doing to kids. They were bragging about it. How about you? What about that social media? Fat ass. And I apologize. I shouldn't even talk about it. I don't really want to talk like that. She just makes me furious. And she does have bad hair. She has bad everything. You know what did happen tonight, you guys? Oh my gosh. I forgot that it was going to happen. And I didn't listen to any of it, but Nate Eaton interviewed Lindsay Blake. That's the one I've been dying for. Well, everybody should be responsible for their actions, but whenever you are in a position, like you said, a position like that, and you work for, you're a public servant, you absolutely owe us answers. 100%. You work for us. That's the way that goes. Journalists are supposed to be the watchdog on that stuff. We don't do that anymore because most of the journalists they all have an agenda too. So it rarely happens that anybody gets called out. I love that guy for doing that. And yet that channel is pretty good for that. I mean, I don't trust any mainstream media, but there are certain reporters, and in a lot of cases, reporters aren't allowed to really do their job because, the people higher up, this is how everything's gotten right in the middle of it. It's a business, of course. So it becomes somewhat political. And then they just that's where the hit jobs come from. The hit pieces on political opponents is through the media. He does, Sicilian. I like him. Are you serious? Wow, DC. Wow. Oh, Lord. Well, I'm sorry for you. Again, people behaving badly. I know. Right. Like what's going on there is an utter fucking insanity. Legs. Right. But then again, you know what? What's going on is what they want to go on. So I guess they think they are doing a good job. Jerry, did you watch that at all? Did you watch any of Nate? I know. That's what I know. Legs. I was thinking that too. Serious. That's so true, Legs. Yep. Oh God. Oh my gosh. Absolutely true. Oh my God. Well, that's the thing, DC. When is it going to turn to something really violent, right? That's actually kind of scary these days. Yeah, typically you appreciate that kind of a show a little bit to some degree. These days, who knows when someone's going to whip out a firearm or something? Good God, you never know. They never are. Of course they're not. Of course they're not. They never are. That's why I always say I can't believe anytime when people hire somebody to watch, to follow their spouse and all that shit. If you have to do that, you already have your answers. You already know. Stop it. I know. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my Lord. Yeah, so hopefully enough people will talk about this woman and she won't get reelected. I sure hope she doesn't. I'd be very happy to not have to see her and see her anymore. I'll just leave it at that. I was going to get real hateful, but I won't. Today is Adam's birthday. She is, Jerry. She's a total asshole. How do you ruin someone's life and then sit there and get snarky with people? Fuck you. Oh my God. Yeah, that woman's suing him. I hope she better win. Fuck yeah. She is. Yeah, that's what I think too, Legs. She's got a big old fat fucking ego. So I've paid zero attention to what is going on in Tennessee today. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not in any loop today. Yeah. She sure has been a shit show lately, though. I've gotten a lot of laughter out of this stuff. Not gonna lie, I actually have had a little bit of entertainment with all this nonsense. They didn't. They went home for the day. I did check that out. Yep, still no verdict in Karen Reed. I love that, DC. I love it. I know it's always like some idiot that's like, I don't even know how you have one person, much less multiple. Hey, Tough. Yes, we do also. Yes, we hope everybody had a good one. Oh, thank you, Aquarium Baby. I heard it was pretty funny too. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. Thank you for joining. Oh, I'm going to turn some of this off. My internet is so stupid. Oh my God, I really want to. Okay, so do you guys want to watch some of this Nate Eaton, or do you want I don't really care what Betty's doing actually myself. I'm not trying to. Hey, artist. Yeah, I've had enough of Betty for a minute. Too many alleged facts going on over there. People trying to kill her, threatening her life. Really? How so? That is shit. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. Me too, Legs. Me too. I love Nate. Oh my God. That is so damn funny. It is funny that she gets so fucking triggered, man. Oh my God, though. I love Lindsay Blake. I do so much. No, she is literally stalking people. She's in their yard, in their town, following them around, getting out in the middle of the street, going up to their car. But she they are stalking her, threatening her life. Turtle Island's on. Oh, I did. Oh my God. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh God. I know. It actually is. It cracks me up. Oh, she is fired the hell up. She's gonna sue everyone. I mean, it's just on and on. And I heard somebody bring up that whenever she got pulled over, I hadn't thought about it, but you know what? She hopped right out of the car and went out there. And actually, that never is the way that works. So did she really get pulled over? Like, what the fuck? I really think she might be making up every damn bit of this shit. Oh my God. Everyone has to find out where she's at, even though she tells them where she's at. That might be why. See, right. Yes, I think, you know what? See, I'm just so dumb, I guess. You know, she said she got pulled over. I'm like, okay. See? That does make more sense. What the fuck? Why? And how do you say he's following you? You are videotaping yourself behind him. It's so crazy. I'm telling you, like, it is pretty funny. But also, there was a really funny phone call that Dolly got the other night that was fucking hilarious. Right. Oh my God. And she told him she's fishing. I'm fishing. I don't know how she can actually just like make something up and literally rile her own self up legitimately. I mean, how could you really rile yourself up when you know that actually didn't happen? I know. Oh my God. Total theater. Seriously. I do laugh so fucking hard though when she's just flying. She's just flying down the road, running shit over. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Just, it's like, good God. Oh my God. Just putting paper up on poles. Got it. She is scary. She's fucking nuts. Should we really hear the call? Legs, are you here? Okay, we'll play it. Oh my God. Okay, well, I will play this one. It's never going to get old to me. It's never. It's the funniest fucking thing oh my God. Did you? Oh my God. Oh, Lordy. You got to let them get to serial killers. Get through it. Yeah. Yeah. If I understand what you're saying. Elongated. Yeah, this is some funny. I can't. I'm pretty sure I will never, ever get sick of it. Yeah, you have to watch. I'm getting it right to the spot, but Legs, you have to watch Dolly's face. You have to. Okay, I've got it all set. Okay, yeah, I'm doing it right now. Watch Dolly's face.
Hey, Donnie, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, this is Todd from Cleveland, Ohio. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad.
Now, this Karen Reed situation, this lady is totally guilty.
Totally
Guilty. Yes.
Okay, I know, I do too, Legs, but this guy says some crazy shit that is hilarious. And Dolly's face to this is so good.
Totally believe this lady looks totally batshit crazy.
She does. But I pick a crazy pick of her. So she don't always look just like that, but that's one of those pics where she really looked crazy. And I was like, oh, she looks crazy as shit in this picture.
I'm telling you, I can't get over it. I think she'll be found innocent, though. 100%. She's not going to be charged with the murder of this man. But yeah, that's my deal on that. Now, the Sebastian Rogers situation, I have a really weird theory about this one. You know, I really truly believe the boy did run off. I mean, I think he was around 15, maybe 16 years old. And what if this boy did run off and he escaped into the wilderness? And, you know, later down the line, he grows a long beard and his face becomes elongated. And then maybe he interbreeds with other, you know, creatures or whatever. But it makes total sense that he did leave because of the parents. Totally scary on both sides. Even with the stepdad, the mother, and even the biological father. I mean, no wonder this kid wanted to get the hell away from there. I mean, he was being treated like shit. Now, as far as the Caleb Harris case, I don't think there's any foul play involved whatsoever.
What about Bigfoot?
This young, I'm sorry?
Bigfoot. What Bigfoot could have put him in a manhole. You got to watch them big feet. I hear they're dangerous.
Well, the thing I think happened is there's a thing, you know, this young man was an avid outdoorsman. I mean, I totally believe this theory. Somehow he got into some water, maybe looking for fish or something of that nature, or looking for something outdoors, looking for different bodies of water. And he drowned, and then somehow it was like a backdraft, and somehow the body might have possibly got, you know, backdraft into a sewer line through water.
Yeah, from flooding.
Exactly, because there were a lot of storms there. But no, I don't think there's any foul play involved with that at all. I think it was a total accident. But it ain't what people are thinking, that he fell into a damn manhole. I believe this kid, he was in some sort of body of water, and a backdraft, sucked his body up in there, and it kind of got clogged up or whatever, and went in different areas. Stuff like that happens all the time. There was a case out in Wisconsin back in the early 90s. The same damn thing
this is
happened.
funny right here.
What, a kid ran away and intermingled with
Well, it wasn't a
Elongated
kid.
face.
It was an older man. And this was during the time of that Jeffrey Dahmer shit that was going on and everything. But yeah, if you pull it up, I can't remember the name of the person, but yeah, they had.
Let a kid run away and intermingle. Oh God. I cannot even handle it. Oh shit. This is some of the best shit oh Lord. I love this too though.
There have been many cases where people have fallen into different bodies of water to different areas and then been sucked into, different ports of water, even sewage lines. Yeah, so it's that's my theory on that. Of course, I could be wrong. That's just, what I'm thinking. But, yeah, it's pretty scary to think about. But I'm telling you, stuff like this can happen, man.
Oh, right.
Okay. All right. Hey, bro, I appreciate you calling in.
Hey, thanks so much, Dolly, and you have a good one, my man.
All right. Peace. I thought he was trolling, right? Because he said he could intermingle with animals in the woods and his face grow elongated and with a beard. I was like, is this dude trolling right now? And then he went into like being serious. I don't know what the hell that was about. I was like, his face gets elongated. How the hell does your face get elongated? And why would he grow a beard? And like, what is he, Grizzly Adams? Right? Like, listen, you can't just go run and live in the wild. Listen, I'm a city dude. If I ran out into the woods, I would last like 3 days. Okay? I ain't built for the woods. Okay? That shit, I wouldn't survive. You go tell me to go hunt and do all that to get my food, I'd be dead. Okay, I'd be laying there like this, skinny. You know what I'm saying? This to the ants eat me. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't happen. This kid didn't run off like Huck Finn barefoot, go fishing with his fishing rod and his damn clothes. That didn't happen. This is the real world we live in. This ain't some fairy tale land where everything ends in a happy ending. Hell no. Life ain't work like that. It always ends shitty. Okay? It always ends shitty. Right? Something bad has happened. We got to find out what bad thing did it. Okay? You got to watch out for Bigfoot. He's mean. Okay? He's mean. He may be an intergalactic alien. That's why we can't never find him. Right? That's why they've never caught a Bigfoot, because he runs back to his damn UFO. Okay? He runs back to his UFO. He just comes to interbreed and mingle with elongated face. I don't know. That was a crazy call. But, Karen Reed, we find out tomorrow if she's going to be innocent or guilty, which I'm going to have to wake my ass up for, which totally sucks. Okay. Sebastian Rogers, people keep sharing his face just in case he is out there somewhere.
I never heard anything about spaghetti. Wow. From the caller? I never heard that. That's crazy. Right after he hung up. Oh God. What? Oh my God. Is it still coming? I don't know.
And he's being overlooked. And Caleb Harris, prayers for his family. Like I said, they haven't identified the body as him yet, but I'm thinking any day we should get the word that it's him. How this boy ended up in a damn manhole, I don't think there's no such thing as different systems. There's storm drains, and then there's the sewer system. 2 different systems. I don't.
Okay, Artis, I'll try to find it too. Oh yeah, you better get some sleep. Well, for him to say that Sebastian is out there living with creatures. He said creatures. That was too much. I really love Dolly's face in that, though. That was a priceless reaction too. It was mine also. Like, what? Mating with I knew, right? The fuck? Me too, legs. Me too. Well, Betty's over there getting all the information on that. She is on the case. She's doing her job. That's some absolute hilarious shit right there. God. God. She acts like anybody wants her information. Like, first of all, all she's doing is talking about herself, but whatever. I mean, she's just being her. She's being her on steroids, full on batshit, alleged facts, all of it. All of it. Let's check out some of this because I've been dying for this one.
To have you here. It is Thursday, the 27th of June. Cannot believe July is just in a few days. Unbelievable. What time's moving fast. Thank you for being here tonight. Here in our studio, we are live and have some Daybell news in addition to an interview with Lindsay Blake. So many of you have wanted to hear from Lindsay Blake. We sat down earlier today, talked for about an hour. Interesting stuff that she had to say. I did not know, for instance, that she wrote her opening statements for Lori's trial in a Starbucks. We talked about that. We talked about all sorts of stuff, including the cheesy egg recipe, which many of you asked for. We talked about that and so many more things. Thanks for being here. There is some Daybell news to report. First of all, Lori Vallow wants her trial in Arizona now. She wants it to start on August 1st when it is supposed to start. Her attorneys, one of whom has only been on the case for like 3 weeks, is saying, hold up, not yet. Like, we need some time. In court documents that were just filed a couple of days ago. I have them right here. I'll read to you what her attorneys said. Basically, the defense team representing Lori Vallow respectfully moves this court to continue her trial currently set for August 1st, approximately 6 months, to February of 2025. Lori does object and continues to assert her speedy trial rights. She did this in Idaho. This isn't new for her. She really wanted that trial to happen right away, and she got it. She actually got it. And that's why they took death penalty off the table here. She's telling them in Arizona, I want my trial now. But her defense team believes this continuance is necessary to provide her competent representation at the trial. She was arraigned on December 7th. Her one attorney left the public defender's office, and a new attorney was assigned to take over just in April. Imagine taking over this case just 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Then a new attorney was added to the team on June 6th. So there's 3 attorneys, 2 are new. One's been on there, but really only since December. So her attorneys say in their motion to continue, the discovery is one of the most voluminous in any case anyone on the defense team has come across. There are over 100,000 pages of discovery. 88,000 of those were disclosed in February. Undersigned defense counsel is nowhere close to completing that review. There are also hundreds of hours of recorded statements disclosed by the state and other sources. There is substantial body camera footage, video footage, expert evidence that must be reviewed. We're also waiting for evidence pertaining to immunity agreements. The state has approximately 45 witnesses. The defense has requested the first three pretrial interviews. We're waiting.
Oh, immunity agreements. Oh my God. February, that is going to piss me off. Oh, man. We're going to find out some good shit in this trial, I believe. Find out how many more people, what is all involved in these immunity agreements. Because I heard they weren't real good ones for them. So more people need to be charged.
That further due to the oversaturated and consistently prejudicial media coverage of this case. I don't know what they're talking about. And those involved in it, it appears there will be a substantial amount of litigation the defense must engage in to attempt to ensure the possibility of Lori being able to get a fair and impartial trial in Maricopa. All of that said, the defense team is nowhere near completely necessary, and a continuance is requested to allow Lori's attorneys to be prepared. We respect her rights to a speedy trial and her objection to waiving time, but simply we do not feel we can completely represent her, competently represent her. So there's a hearing on the 2nd of July next week. Yep. Lori has asked not to attend, so we'll see what the judge says. And I don't foresee this trial happening in August. Sounds like it could be February, though, which is a nice time to visit Arizona. The other news has to do with Lori's husband, his house. It's on the market. Looking for a house? There it is. $350,000 went on the market today. And actually, I had heard it went on the market 2 days ago and then was quickly pulled off and then put back on. 4-bed, 1.5 baths, 1,894 square feet, 3.75 acre lot. And it does not disclose anything I could find. Yeah, see, here's where it was listed on the 24th and taken off on the 25th, relisted today. I cannot find anything publicly listed about the property as far as the history of what happened there. However, on the MLS listing service that realtors use, they have access to information that the public doesn't. And multiple realtors sent me a part of the listing, and it says, let me find it. Private info, agents, this is a stigmatized property. All requests to show must be vetted through the listing agent to be certain the buyer is genuine and aware of the trauma involved with this home. Wow. No curiosity seekers will be allowed access to the home and or grounds, in all caps. It'll be interesting to see how they vet those, vet the people that come and go from that home. My question for you, and leave it in the comments, do you think the house will sell? Do you think someone will really buy it?
No.
And what happens with it? I mean, that's the big question. Emma came out in the trial that she's been living there at the home, and she, with her husband, and sounds like, I guess she could always buy it, but I would imagine they would have worked that out with John Pryor previously. John Pryor owns the house, by the way. He owns it. So, all right. So those are the two big pieces of news. We'll see who buys the house, if anybody, and we'll see when Lori's trial actually happens. Now, on to my interview with Fremont County Prosecutor Lindsay Blake. She came in. She sat here for about an hour. Of course, there were some things she couldn't talk about, like pending charges. Well, I should say potential pending charges against anyone in connection to the case. I think the Chad's case is still in appeal. So, but she was pretty open with everything I had to ask her.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody buying that house. It's not like it's a great house anyway. And then everything that happened to it, with it, I couldn't live there.
And I guess without further ado, here is my interview with Lindsay Blake. It's about an hour. She stayed here for about an hour, and here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Leave your comments below. Leave your questions below. Whatever your thoughts are, would love to hear them. Would love to read them.
Right.
Thanks for being here today. I'm Nate Eaton, and in our studio, we have Fremont County Prosecutor Lindsay Blake. If you followed the Daybell trial, you definitely know who she is. And Lindsay, it's so glad to have you here. Have you adjusted to normal life?
Getting there.
Yes.
Yes.
It's been a couple weeks now.
It has been.
And does it feel good to be home?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been making up time to my little boy.
Right.
So I spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah. I obviously want to talk about the trial, but I want to go back to one thing I did not know until this trial, that you used to be a defense attorney.
Yes.
So what made you decide to switch from defending people over to prosecution?
So I did defense work for a little over 6 years, and I was actually a public defender in Bannock County. And that was where really started into the criminal law side of things. And after some time, I just wanted to see what the other side was like, and this was ready for a change. And so an opening came up in actually Sublette County, Wyoming. So made a pretty big change of a move and switched to the prosecution side.
Right. And then you ended up in Driggs?
Yes. So I was in Sublette for about a year.
And those people, Emma and her husband have been burying or growing shit out there. Sick. Hey, Angel of Goodness. Thanks. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, exactly. I do too. I love Lindsay Blake. She's awesome. Yes, you have a good night also. Thank you.
Here, and when Billy ran for office there in Teton County, she ended up reaching out to me about coming to work as her chief deputy. So I ended up making that switch and went to the prosecutor's office there. I was there for between 2 and 3 years, I think, and then I switched over to Salt Lake actually for a year at the district attorney's office there.
Okay. Then you decided to come home.
Yes, I had some people reach out to me about whether or not I would be willing to run in the upcoming election, and they talked me into it.
And at the time that you were running, the Daybell case was underway, right?
It was. I think when I was in Salt Lake, I remember I had some coworkers that really were following the case. It was when the kids were missing, and they'd approached me about it to say, do you know any of the people involved? Because they knew I was from southeastern Idaho originally. And of course I didn't. So I had very limited knowledge of what was going on at that point. During the primary election, my predecessor had recently sent Tammy's death investigation to the Attorney General's office. And that was one of the issues that came up during the primary election. Some of the community felt that maybe we should consider bringing the case back and just having a little more local control with that. So that was an issue that came up during that primary election as well.
Right. And that's a big decision for you to make, because as a new prosecutor, newly elected in such a big case, you could have said, well, we'll just let the Attorney General handle it. Why did you decide to bring it back and take on this massive, nationwide, worldwide attention?
I think people wondered what I was thinking at the time. So shortly after I won the primary election, that would have been in May, the children's bodies were discovered that next month. And I knew of the Tammy issue, and that had been a question of whether or not when I came in, we'd take that death investigation back. Once the kids' bodies had been located in Fremont County, knowing that I was coming in that next year, I'd reached out to the Fremont County Prosecutor's Office, and I was directed to Rob Wood because they had handed the concealment case off to him as a special prosecutor at that point. So I had made contact with Rob Wood, and we talked about it, and ultimately a decision was made that I was going to leave Salt Lake a little earlier than planned and begin working with Rob in his office to familiarize myself with the case and get a better game plan as to what we do going forward. So then when I actually took office, the AGs, we'd had a conversation. They were willing to send Tammy's side of it back. The main reason that I asked for it back and wanted to do it that way is I felt really strongly, having reviewed the evidence, that these cases needed to be put back together. And so once the AGs were okay with that, Rob and I had a conversation because he had the potential to move forward with some conspiracy or other charges there in Madison County. And then we had the opportunity to move forward as well with conspiracy and the homicides in Fremont County. So Rob and I had that conversation and agreed, we're both smaller offices, Madison a little bigger than us, but we agreed to essentially combine our resources and our manpower to be able to move forward. So he brought in his team. I think at that point he had Rachel working with him and a couple attorneys in his office. And then I brought in with me my chief deputy at the time, Tanya Rawlings. And that was a conversation she and I had had as well. She came from a public defense background as well, 15 plus years, I believe at that point. So she had that experience from the public defense side as well. And we just made the decision that we did feel we could handle it as a team and move forward.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I don't, obviously these were totally winnable, but they were very difficult. Putting all that together and explaining it, like there was so much to this. But I really believe that Lindsay Blake was absolutely crucial to this. Like, I can't imagine anybody handling all that. Even, I don't, just her style and stuff, I think was just so spot on. I love her.
So you have this huge thing in front of you. How do you decide which angle to take? I mean, like, do you divvy it up into you're over this, evidence is coming in. massive amounts of evidence and exhibits and all of that. How do you, like, who sets the game plan forward?
That is a very good question. And I think a little bit at the first, there was somewhat of a struggle, but I think we really hit a stride. And we also had kind of two different teams coming together, and we were joining into one team. And I was really impressed how quickly we were able to make that transition, because sometimes it doesn't mesh that well. But I think we were able to make that transition. And then Rob and I worked together to say, we really need to co-lead this thing. We really need to be the heads of the case as much as possible. But we ran it as a very team collaborative approach. I don't think anyone wanted to be saying, it's my way, this is how we have to do it. So we ended up doing team meetings monthly. And then as we got closer to things or as needed, we'd add more meetings in, maybe even move them up every other week or weekly. And then we would also be on the phone with each other pretty consistently in making that game plan. And we transitioned over time. So we did start initially, we kind of separated it into topics of the case. So we might have religion, the iCloud messages, the attempted shooting of Tammy. So we may have different categories that certain people were really focusing on. At some juncture, we ended up saying, hey, let's divvy it up by witnesses. That might be easier. And then determine what each of our assigned witnesses.
And you know what, for me, the more and more time that goes by after this literally had nothing to do with religion. Nothing. In my opinion. That was nothing but a bunch of shit. I don't believe they believed in anything they said. No.
This is their anticipated testimony to make sure that we get everything covered. So it was kind of an evolving process behind the scenes. Pretty quickly as well, I think in one of our first meetings, we determined the theme. Some people on the team were very adamant we've got to have a theme. And so they wanted that decided very quickly. And we were able to reach that theme of pretty consistent across the board, even if different phrases were used initially, that it was about money, power, and sex and removing obstacles to get those things.
Right. And weren't those like the first 3 words you said in Lori's case?
They were.
But yeah. I mean, it was memorable. It stuck. And then in your closing as well on Chad's case. So was there any topic or witness that you personally wanted? Like, I want this. You were really fascinated by that?
I think so. And as an attorney, it's hard, right? Because we have this team of everyone that's trial attorneys. We do trial work. And so I think on some level, you all kind of have an interest in having every witness. But clearly, manpower wise, it didn't make any sense. Right. We wanted to split that up. So for me, I did feel like Tammy's side was still going to be a challenge. We had a coroner originally determining natural death. We had the Emmys later determining that it was homicide by asphyxiation. I did feel her portion of it maybe a little more challenged. And so I did end up picking some witnesses to kind of focus in on that because I wanted to try to make that as clear as possible. And I wanted to really fully understand it as well. So that was one of the sections that I had taken a pretty big group of the witnesses. In addition, prior to coming in, Rob had done that prelim. And so there were certain witnesses that he already had that attorney-witness relationship with, and it made sense to have him keep those witnesses. Right. So we had some new witnesses that no one had questioned before. So kind of figuring that out too.
Right. And you mentioned that Tammy, in your eyes, may have been the more challenging one to prove as far as her death, who caused her death. Do you have a thought, a theory as to who actually did it?
I think everyone on our team ended up coming up with a theory of who they think did it. And when we really look at what the evidence showed.
Right. Can you imagine? Where would this have gone? Like, because they are just absolutely crazy. And I've been listening to some people talk about, I won't mention who, talking about all of this as a religious aspect and people who believe some of these things. There are a lot of people who believe in end of time prepping and things that a lot of people believe in that. A lot of people might even think that some people are dark or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I never hear that kind of shit. I think it's weird as hell. You can't lump people who, first of all, Mormons as a whole. And you can't lump people who think certain things. What they did was, most people aren't doing this. It had nothing to do with religion. Exactly. Nothing. had to do with they're selfish, money hungry. They wanted money. Neither one of them were going to work, but they wanted to live a certain lifestyle. That's 100% what it was about. There are some people getting way off in the weeds with shit. Like, I mean, yeah.
We do have a device associated with Alex Cox down the road at the Salem Church or in the vicinity of the Salem Church. And testimony was very consistent. No information, no knowledge ever gained that Alex knew anyone besides Chad in that area. And that happens to be the night before she's pronounced dead, that he's in that area. And then during Chad's trial, we had Melanie Pulowski, who indicated that she had been told Alex didn't go on the trip to Hawaii because he had to help Chad with something. So I think when you look at the evidence that we have, it seems to paint a picture of what very likely happened. And then coupled with testimony from both the state's MEs that testified about Tammy's cause of death and manner of death, as well as even the defense expert about some of the potential ways in which that death could have been accomplished.
Right, and I think you laid it out good during the jury selection when you compared it to a football team, like the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody on the team getting a ring, even if they may not have been on the field playing, and comparing that to the fact that even if Chad or Lori did not physically pull the trigger, quote unquote, they could still be culpable for it. Talk about the challenges.
Well, every religion, this is what we talk about.
And Chad's.
There are.
You were hoping they'd stay together, right?
There are bad cops, there are bad teachers, there are bad everything because there's just bad people. Right.
Yes. As people that followed the trial probably remember, we had, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 motions to sever at the end that we argued. So we really felt that it should have stayed together as one case. I respect the decision made by the court. I can understand the rationale, but it was something that we did feel, had we been able to keep it together, that would have been absolutely preferable.
So were there challenges, or did it actually help as far as Chad's trial? Because you got the run through with Lori's, you were able to learn and change things, or was it pretty much not the same, but were there any obstacles between the two?
Yes, I think Lori's may have been a bit more of a challenge in certain ways, because even though we had been working on the case for years at that point, there is just so much information in this case, and filtering through what should we present versus what do we not need to present is always a bit of a challenge. Every attorney may see it a little bit different, and that's really one of the biggest values of having a team working on this, is being able to run that by each other. Some piece that I may have thought was super important, everyone else may say, well, let's table that, and in the scheme of things, let's figure out if we really need to use that piece. So that was challenging, I think, in Lori's, because we hadn't done it before, to really determine. And I think you get this religion that you could continue to go down rabbit hole after rabbit hole. And so figuring out how do we get it across and explain it in a way that these are purported beliefs. Whether or not they believed them doesn't really matter. What we're arguing and what the evidence is showing is they were using religion as a mechanism to manipulate those around them, and really figuring out how do we get there without going too far down. And so I think that was always a bit of a challenge, even in Chad's, because we've been through it with Lori's. I think we had a better idea of how to maybe process that and present it. The other challenge with Lori's is, for some of our witnesses, it was their first time ever testifying. And so when you talk about that witness split, you really want to be able to meet with a witness, develop a relationship with them so that they can trust you when they're on the stand. And I've always explained to them, I'm just a conduit to get their information out. That's my job. I want them to be able to present what they know in a way that's going to make sense. And so that was maybe a little more of a challenge in Lori's, just getting.
Yeah, that to me had to be a huge challenge. That's what I don't know. A lot of us have stayed and, been involved. Involved's not the right word, but we've known what was going on, or a large part of what was happening with this case for all these years. But to put all that together for a jury, that's a talent. It is. And I'm very impressed.
People comfortable with that process.
Right. So
that was probably a bigger challenge on her side.
Right. And you could tell, even, well, as an observer, like even with Zulema during the second trial, she seemed far more comfortable on the stand. And so I think maybe you're right. They can testify one time, they know what to expect.
It is.
And the next one.
Yes.
Did you at any point think okay, this is the piece of evidence, we got them, like this is it? Or was it, I mean, there were so many of those moments, at least as an observer, but was there one thing that you thought, okay, this is really going to convince the jury?
I think for me, every witness that we called ended up having some piece of information that we absolutely felt was valuable for the jury to hear. And it's always hard for me to gauge.
Right. For you to be able to get, you know, these 18 people, whatever, that if the process has worked correctly, they don't know about this. They don't know all the shit we know. To be able to lay it out there for them, that is not just anybody can do that. She did. She did an awesome job.
What is going to be that piece for somebody else? Because I may look at something and think this is really good, and someone else may not think it's as strong in showing culpability. I think as much as we could use their own words, so jail calls, body cam footage, the iCloud messages, anything where it's Chad and Lori's own words or Alex's if we had access to that, which at times we did, I think that is sometimes the most telling. It was a circumstantial case, so for them to be able to hear it in Chad and Lori's words. And of course, when we talk about was there a plan, this is a conspiracy, those iCloud messages clearly from the state's perspective laid that out.
Right. Did you expect Lori to testify?
I wasn't sure. I never know if a defendant's going to take the stand or not. And so we definitely anticipated that it was a real possibility. And I think we weren't sure until right up until the very end when the decision was made by the defense and Lori that she was not going to. So we were prepared for it. We had a plan in place as to how we would handle the cross-examination.
Were you going to cross?
I was going to do the cross-examination.
Yeah. And
don't you guys feel like I never really, the way the cameras are in the courtroom, and even, well, she spoke very little bit at the press conference outside, but I feel like I never really could see her as well. Like, it's wild to see that you can really see who she is, what she looks like. I don't know. I'm the only one getting that, but.
Did you have questions prepared?
I had an idea of some questions that I would want to have prepared. Obviously, with cross, it's a little bit different. You have your idea, but until you see what they actually testify to, because you have to keep your cross within the scope of what they talk about generally, unless there's any agreement to go outside of the scope. So it was going to be a blanket idea of what we wanted to do. I think we were going to want to keep it as simple as possible as well, was going to be one of the goals, to try to make sense of whatever she was going to say.
Right. Did you want her to?
I always am interested to see what a defendant has to say if they're willing to take the stand.
Yeah. Same with Chad. Did you think he would take
the
stand?
Were
you
yes.
prepared for that?
We were prepared for that as well.
Jerry,
I was going to handle his cross-examination.
I feel like I couldn't see shit.
Stand. So again, had an idea in place. We weren't sure if he would or wouldn't take the stand. So we were prepared for it in case he did.
And obviously, for those people that may not have seen it, both of them did not take the stand. But Lori did speak at her sentencing. What did you think of that?
I think I was a little surprised to hear her say so much. She'd been pretty quiet up until that point, and it was an interesting statement from her.
Interesting. That's a good word. Good word to use.
Yeah.
You, during all of this, are managing your office still in Fremont County. I mean, it's not like crime stops. How did you manage being in Boise for 2 years in a row for 3 months at a time, while still running the office, while still keeping things going at home?
That is a great question. Sometimes I look back and I'm not exactly sure. So right. Fremont County is a very small office. When I came in, there were 2 attorney positions and we have 3 staff positions. So for the duration of Lori's prep time, Tanya and I both were carrying full caseloads. She did the full misdemeanor infraction caseload and I had the juvenile and felony caseload. So we were handling those caseloads while preparing for trial. We ended up getting an attorney position approved just because our case numbers in general had gone up, not even including the Daybell side of things. So we ended up bringing in a new attorney who was Rocky Wixom, and he took over that role for us while we were in Lori's trial. He ran the attorney side of things by himself. So we had really great staff, Tiffany Meekum, Pat Smith, and Cheyenne Schultz at that time during Lori's trial. And in our Chad's trial, we made a couple changes.
Right legs.
As people are probably
saw more of him than I wanted to.
Appointed as a Bonneville County magistrate, which I was very excited for her. It was definitely bittersweet to have her leave before we were able, especially to finish this case out. We ended up also having to change in our office. We brought in a lady named Paula Pack, who's our victim witness coordinator, and we'd really transitioned one of our positions to be very much focused on the victim side of things. So Paula came in and joined our team for Chad's trial. When Tanya stepped out, Rocky stepped in to her place and was willing to kind of hit the ground running, learn the information. He didn't have a ton of time to get up to speed on things, so he did a fantastic job and was willing to do that. And then we were able to bring in a gentleman named Aaron Tolson, who worked as the attorney in our office while we were gone. So my staff did an amazing job helping keeping it going. Rocky during Lori's and then Aaron during Chad's were instrumental. I will also say the community as a whole was extremely supportive and very willing to be understanding of my office's situation, that we were shorthanded, and very willing to work with us. So Fremont County as a whole, the sheriff's office, the courts, they were fantastic to us.
Right. What did you think?
You know, you totally get that feeling about, you know, talking and hearing from all of these, all of the people involved in this. You really get that feeling that there was so much support, so much cooperation, everything. Like from when you look at how many different police agencies were involved, that's a lot of agencies to work together. Oh my God. See, Queen, I wasn't trying to. What are you doing to handle this? You're not going to be able to sleep in that. It is. Right. You need a window unit. You absolutely do. Just saying. Okay, I'm not trying to laugh. But yeah, you do. Everybody does. Right, Gobby. Hey, I'm just saying. Okay, so you will be able to sleep. Okay, you're right. Okay. Because earlier I'm like, you got to get the fuck to a hotel or something. I mean, you're welcome to stay here, but as you know, I have 0 room. But I forgot you do have 2 units. Yeah. Right. Right. Hey, they come in quite handy. That's funny.
And how did you handle the intense media coverage? And I ask this, as a reporter, not just from me covering it extensively, but worldwide. I mean, there's reporters there from big news outlets, New York, even the UK. How do you, as a prosecutor, still protect your case while knowing that, it's getting reported on every day?
I think it's somewhat of a challenge. The biggest thing with the media coverage really is when we're looking at selecting a jury, because we always have to filter through how much exposure has a potential juror had. Is it enough that we think it's going to create an issue with their ability to remain unbiased?
Yeah, they can.
And most potential jurors, I think, are extremely willing to discuss that, be open and honest about how much they think it's affected them. So for us, I think it's just keeping track of and being cognizant of what information has been put out there. Is it something that could be concerning for a juror's ability to be impartial, so that we're covering that as we go through our jury selection process? So I think that's the biggest thing as an attorney. We just try to be cognizant of what has been put out there so we can make sure we address it.
And there was a lot of those questionnaires that went out to people in Ada County, and even some of the questions for those people that didn't see jury selection. Media was brought up, have you seen the Netflix show, things like that. What was the biggest challenge for you?
That's a good question. I think trying to find any kind of a balance during that. And that's why I say I look back and sometimes I think, I don't know how I did it. It was a very chaotic time. I had found out I was expecting.
Believe it or not, I've lived a lot of times in my life in Arizona without AC. A lot of times I lived without AC here. Right. Yeah. Oh, that is really nice, Queen. I've had some rough summers here, I can tell you that. Well, fuck yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
During the grand jury process, actually. So ended up having my little boy, and I think within
No, you're fine.
a month of his birth, maybe we had one of the hearings on the motion to sever. Maybe it was a little over a month, and I was handling that. So just trying to figure out how to really make sure I dedicated enough time to my son, and made sure that I gave this case enough time, and made sure that I gave my office enough time, because as you indicated, crime doesn't stop. And I always say, whatever case I've got in front of me at the moment needs enough time, and a month of his birth, maybe we balance during that. And that's why I say I look back and sometimes I think, I don't know how I did it. It was a very chaotic time. I had found out I was expecting during the grand jury process, actually. So ended up having my little boy, and I think within a month of his birth, maybe we had one of the hearings on the motion to sever. Maybe it was a little over a month. And
wow, she had a baby in the middle of
just,
this.
Trying to figure out how to really make sure I dedicated enough time to my son, and made sure that I gave this case enough time, and made sure that I gave my office enough time, because as you indicated, crime doesn't stop. And I always say, whatever case I've got in front of me at the moment needs to be the most important, because it is the most important to someone else. It's the most important case to the defendant that's going through it. It may be the most important case to a victim if the victim's involved in it.
Right.
So for somebody, that case is going to affect their lives. And so my focus needed to be on that. So trying to just balance all that and figure out how can I make sure that we take care of everything.
Right. One of the ladies wrote, a viewer wrote and asked me, what was it like bringing a baby into the world while preparing a trial for a mother who murdered her own children? Did it make reviewing the evidence more difficult as a mom, or only strengthen your resolve?
I think for me, I've gotten pretty good at compartmentalizing. So to try to be able to separate it from my own personal life as much as possible. But definitely there are moments when you're holding your new little baby and wondering, how a mother could be involved in that, or how a mother gets to that point that they would let anything happen to that little one.
I noticed probably at least once or twice during the trial of Lori, you looking at her when a witness would be on the stand, or just watching her. And I was curious, what maybe, you probably don't recall the time, I'm sure you did it a few times. I think everybody in the courtroom would look at her just to see, but this was more of a, I don't know, a what are you thinking type look, or would you try to look at her and try to analyze what she was thinking, or prepare maybe your next questions for the witnesses based on how she was?
Yeah, I do have a bachelor in psychology. I'm interested in psychology in general. Okay. Not that by any means it puts me anywhere near an expert level, but I am curious. And so I do think, I recall trying to look at her and gauge where she was at, try to gauge what her expression was at the time, how she may be taking it in, what her reaction was. I think I'm always curious what people are thinking, especially a defendant in a courtroom. Is some evidence hitting them harder? What is going through their mind in that moment?
Yeah. Talk about how long it took you to put together, in Lori's case, the opening statement, which was memorable. I'm sure, did you hear all the reporters typing?
Yes.
I think everybody did. Picked up the court. We were right behind you, a row of us with laptops. We're frantic typing every single word, trying that Lindsay's saying, and put it out there. And then, so how long did it take you to put that together? And then in Chad's, the closing.
So I tend to sometimes work better under pressure. I'll throw that out there. But we had talked as a team. Obviously, we'd come up with that theme. We'd met as a team, and some of the attorneys would kind of go through and say, if I were doing the opening, I might do things like this. So we'd have those team meetings, had an idea of where we wanted to go. And at some point I said, why don't we do this? Let me sit down and write out what I think. I know I'm going to be missing some stuff. And of course, for us, because different attorneys had different witnesses, I knew there might be something that a witness was going to talk about that was absolute paramount to an attorney that I didn't realize. So I remember it was on a Sunday. My mom was over in Boise with me during that time. Sky was out of town, my significant other, and he was out of the country during part of Lori's trial. And so my mom had come over to help with my son. He was about 14 months old at the time. So on Sunday, I said, Mom, I'm going to run to a coffee shop for a couple hours and I'll be back. So I still remember I went to a Starbucks there on State Street in Boise, found a quiet area, sat down, wrote out the opening. I think it took approximately 2 hours to get it written out. And I thought, I'm someone that if I try to redo it multiple times, I'm going to go down rabbit holes. Right. So I got it typed out. I sent it out to the team and thought I'll wait for their feedback. They may say, we don't like any of this. We like all of it. So each team member made some edits. They added some pieces that were absolutely instrumental. They thought we should definitely have people hear those parts, made some corrections, took out a few things, and then rehearsed it a couple times. And that was the opening.
Every time you drive by that Starbucks now, you're going to be like, that's the place.
That's the place.
Did you do the same with Chad's closing?
So Chad's closing was a little bit different. And with Lori's, Tanya Rawlings ended up working with me to put together the PowerPoint, help me select photos. We wanted to have some photos that were not too graphic, too extreme, but started to paint the picture of what the jury was going to see. For Chad's, Rocky ended up working with me on my PowerPoint to try to make sure. He was the one that was very adamant and instrumental in saying, hey, as much as possible, we want audio clips of Chad. And so we really tried to incorporate those, and he helped me putting that PowerPoint together. And then as far as writing it, I'd written up kind of a rough draft, probably same thing, spent several hours on it. And then we met as a team, kind of ran through it. And then that night really went through and made it more detailed and to include the PowerPoint as well. Also in preparation of it, during kind of the dead time, I'll call it, that we had.
Can you imagine she has a baby, her spouse, whatever, goes out of town during all this? God, this makes me feel like a total shit ass. Of course, she's a lot younger than I am. And I will admit that I could do a whole lot more when I was younger, but that is a lot. It's crazy. I'm listening to her going, what? Wow. Oh, good night, Legs. I'm so glad we saw you. Miss you. You have sweet dreams also. And try to take it easy. We're thinking about you and praying for you. Love you. Miss Pineapple. No, I know. Jerry, my God. I had a hard time just keeping up with streaming it. God. With a child and life, and wow. She's pretty badass.
During that trial, right before the close, I went back and I'd listened to quite a bit of the testimony to make sure, especially from the beginning portion of the trial, anything that I might have missed or forgotten about that should be incorporated.
So there was so much. I don't know how you take all that and summarize it into 30, 40 an hour. But it was very, very effective. And having the timeline on the diesel too.
Was very effective.
The jurors see that. Okay, so what is it like once the jury has it? Do you have any rituals that you do? What did you do, during that time?
So I was actually kind of surprised during Lori's. Again, I think I just compartmentalized a little different. So to me, once the jury had it, it's in a way a sigh of relief. Right. We've done our job, especially we made it through without any major hiccups, any major mistakes, because anytime you have a trial, you're going to expect something. Something's going to go wrong and you can't anticipate what it is. It's different in every trial. So it's kind of that sigh of relief. And for me, I think I went home and I was also kind of at a loss. I was so used to getting done with court and having a million things to do. And now having any free time was just very, very different than what we've experienced lately. Right. So it's kind of that sigh of relief too, but you also have that apprehension. I remember getting to the courthouse for Lori's after the jury had gone home for the night that next day. I got to the courthouse. I think I brought in some donuts for people, and a lot of the team was already there. And some of them were pacing the hallways, some were meditating. Everyone had their own process for dealing with that. And for me, maybe I just am able to kind of say, hey, that's over here. and I'm just going to look here now until the verdict's back.
Mhm.
So I remember on Lori's,
Hey,
I started to
Cindy.
head to lunch with some of the law enforcement officers, and we stopped in the middle of the sidewalk because I'd gotten the text that the
Oh.
verdict was in, and we headed back. And on Chad's, same thing. I think I got to the courthouse, and a lot of the team was already there, just kind of waiting for the results. I think within a couple hours of my getting to the courthouse, we had the verdict back, or
Yeah.
had gotten word that it was back.
Did you sleep well that night before?
I'm trying to remember.
You have a little boy, so you probably, yeah, I've got kids too. You don't ever really sleep
Yeah,
well.
I have the child that does not like to sleep, and somehow he can take a 10-minute power nap and go for probably another 24 hours.
Right,
So I don't remember if he
Hey,
was.
freaking.
I don't think he was with me. So
Oh,
that night I
okay.
probably did sleep. I think he didn't come back into Boise until a few days after that. So
Okay, but your mom was there, right?
My mom was there,
How was
yes.
it to have her in there? Like, this is two career milestones, I would imagine.
yes, it was amazing. So I have been very, very fortunate. Both my parents were and are just incredible people, very supportive of me. Absolutely two of my biggest cheerleaders. And of course, people know my dad passed away during Lori's trial. So to have my mom be able to be over there was just an absolute
Oh my
blessing.
God, and her
She's
dad.
an absolute rock for me. She's always been one of my biggest supports in life. And so to have her there was
Wow.
amazing. I think it was good for her and a nice experience for her to be able to see what I do, what that environment was, get to meet a lot of the people that she's heard about. So for both of us, I think it was just a once in a lifetime experience, really, to be able to share that with each other.
Was it
Right.
a little weird? I'm sure it was, to kind of be under a microscope to the fact that when you're telling the jury about your son liking eggs, that everyone now in the comments wants to know the recipe. And when you get a haircut, everyone's like, whoa, she got a haircut. It was like Marsha Clark during O.J. Simpson. She got a haircut. It was like cover of People magazine. I mean, was that a little odd to have all these personal things now suddenly? I mean, I'm tweeting about it, it's out there.
Not really. I think it's different, right? That people want to know those things because they're just everyday things for someone, right? And so
Yeah,
definitely to
freaking,
have
we
people
kept Jerry
interested
up way
and
too late
curious
the night before.
is different. It's an adjustment.
Right. Were you recognized around Boise? And that now that you're back home, are people coming up to you and talking about the case?
I really have not had a lot of people recognize me. In my hometown, yes, people will come up because they know who I am. I'm from there originally.
Right.
Me too.
So
Freaking.
they'll come up.
I
Not
absolutely
a lot
love
of
her.
recognition outside of that. Well, maybe I should tell you. So behind the haircut too, I normally would not cut my hair in the middle of the trial.
Okay.
I actually, you read about it. I'd never had it happen, but some of my hair was fried off, quite a bit of it, during the trial with getting it done. And so I made the decision to make a change. But normally I wouldn't do it in the middle of the trial because I have people saying, why would you cut your hair in the middle of the trial?
Well, it looked good. It's a good haircut. And I always believe that women are under far more pressure than men as far as, getting a haircut or changing an outfit. People tend to talk more about that. All right. I have a few questions from viewers. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
And a lot of them you've answered. Why didn't you use the storage unit video? There was surveillance footage at the storage unit where Chad and Lori were coming and going and Alex was coming and going too. Was it just one of those things that you had so much evidence already you didn't need it?
Yeah, it was. We talked about using it. I remember, especially in Lori's trial, we'd really gone back and forth as to whether we were going to introduce it. I know in Chad's, we were able to get mention of it through a witness that there was a storage unit of Chad and Lori dropping off a tire. And so just
Did
as
you
we
really?
through how much of the evidence do we use, at some point we had to start saying certain things we're not sure, even though we might think they have some value, are in the scheme of things, are they going to be what's going to be the make or break?
Right. I think
I know, I don't like the
it. It can be overwhelming if you try to throw in everything. So you really have to pare it down.
And that was hard. And even with witnesses, certain witnesses probably had a lot more we could have tried to glean from them. But at some point we had to start to say, okay, let's try to get in and get the major points and then be able to move on.
Where do you think Chad was when Garth got home?
I don't know. And I don't know if we'll ever know because, of course, we have conflicting stories. We have Garth saying one thing and we have Micaiah Bagelin saying Garth told him something else. And because we weren't able to locate any device associated with Chad to even kind of give us that insider inkling into where he was, I don't know if we'll ever know for sure.
Right. And I'm sure that a lot of these, I believe you'll have the same answer.
Oh, okay, Jerry. Yeah, I guess so.
And same thing,
Yeah.
I don't know if it could have been moved around the property.
kind of
if it
see
is
that
somewhere
too.
else. Unfortunately, unless we have some of the key players ever talk to us, we're probably always going to have some unanswered questions.
Right. Would you want to talk to Chad and Lori, like today, tomorrow?
I probably would if they were ever willing to have a conversation. Obviously, I have a lot of questions for them. As I said, if they had been willing to testify, I'm always interested to see what a defendant has to say, what their version of events may be, or what information they may throw out there, whether or not we believe it. So if they were ever willing to have a conversation, yes.
In total, how many hours would you guess you've put into these trials and cases over the years?
Oh. That is a great question. I think at one point we'd estimated probably about 40 hours per week on this case and then trying to keep up with the other work. So give or take, definitely some weeks less time, some weeks more time. So, but I would.
Freaking, this is Nate Eaton. He works for East Idaho News, and he has been amazing for the Daybell case. He pretty much is the one who went to Hawaii and found them when everybody was looking for them and for those kids. What, 5 years ago now? Yeah. He's awesome. He's so awesome. I don't know. Did you watch at all at Christmas time? He does this Secret Santa stuff that is so good. He's just amazing. He really is. I love him. And this woman is the prosecutor, the head prosecutor for the prosecuted Lori and Chad, both. They're both amazing.
Estimate every week was 30 to 40 hours probably.
And for those people on the comments that complained during the trial of why are they getting out at 3:30, go till 5, as Lindsay said, their day's not done. It's far from done.
Oh my God.
You got to prepare for the next day.
Right.
And was that more challenging during the defense portion of Chad's because you didn't really know which way things were going to go? Like you got to be prepared to cross-examine and then be prepared for the next witnesses.
Oh my God.
I think for me personally, it was probably a very similar process. If I have a witness going up, I try to review their police reports. Of course, I've met with my witnesses. If I'm going to call them, I've prepped
Oh my
them,
God.
meaning I've kind of gone through questions with them, given them some insight into what I think they might be asked, and we go through everything. And then I will go and review the reports, especially if they've given multiple interviews. So in preparing for cross-examination, for me, the biggest difference was I didn't have the benefit of sitting down with that witness and talking to him beforehand, but I was still going through police reports, any incident reports that may involve them, some of the recordings where they may have been on those recordings. I was reviewing those in anticipation for cross-examination.
Yeah. What did you think of Emma's and Garth's testimony?
I thought they were interesting as well. First time ever hearing that much from them. Of course, we had heard some statements from Garth before. He had participated in a few interviews. We had some snippets of information that had been provided by Emma or statements, maybe things that we learned through other witnesses that couldn't be presented at trial because they were hearsay, but we were aware of those statements. So I wasn't necessarily shocked when they testified the way they did. I think they have a dad that's been accused of a very serious crime, facing a very serious consequence. And so I wasn't necessarily surprised to have them testify the way they did, and I think we had anticipated certain parts of the testimony.
Right. Were you surprised that Chad did not present any mitigation?
I think I was a little surprised. And maybe just having done defense work, I always kind of expect the unexpected in a way, because you just never know what a defense attorney or a defendant may decide is right for their side of the case and how they're going to proceed forward. And when I was a defense attorney, same thing with the state. They may do something that caught me off guard. So I think I wasn't completely shocked, but it was definitely different to not have any mitigation presented. But I figured that either the defense or the defendant had made that final decision.
What do you think happened to Alex Cox?
That's a good question. I think definitely there's speculation out there regarding his death.
She is so awesome. Freaking
an autopsy was done that concluded
she
it
is
was
so
natural.
awesome.
But obviously phone calls from Chad and Lori right before, the patriarchal blessing, the messages sent in that, his trip to Mexico. I think people are always going to wonder, and it's always going to leave that open, what really happened to Alex Cox.
Did you speak to the jurors following the trial for Lori? And if so, what did you learn that was useful as you helped prepare for Chad?
Yes, and I think you'd kind of ask about some of the struggles with Chad's, and we just kind of talked about Lori, so I kind of glossed over that. But absolutely, we did meet with the jurors. Anytime jurors are willing to meet with us, and I say us because I think the whole attorney team felt this as a whole, from both the attorney team from Lori's and the change team with Chad's, some of the new members that came in, that we like to get that feedback from jurors on what we can do to improve personally. If our presentation style could be improved, because generally speaking, we're not getting the benefit of doing another trial. So that was the difference with Lori's, is not only could we get some feedback on our personal styles, our presentation, what went well, what didn't, but we could talk about some of the evidence, what came across clearly, what didn't. And so the jurors in Lori's case were very candid with us, I think, which I absolutely appreciate. And we were able to learn that maybe one of the big things, and I think this has come out from other people as well, but the timeline being a little more clear. We have a crime that spans a significant amount of time. We have multiple key dates. And so to be able to keep that clear. So we took that feedback, and really with Chad's, Tanya Rawlings and I sat down afterwards and kind of said, let's come up with an idea of a witness list and take it to the team.
100%. Freaking absolutely. That's what I'm saying. This crime had nothing to do with religion. They pretended that it did, but it didn't. It had to do with sick, evil people. And you have bad people in every aspect of, in every profession, like everything. Exactly. No, me either. I have believed 100% the entire time that they didn't believe what they were saying either. They didn't even believe that. People feel like, they believed what they were saying, and so they felt they had to do this stuff. They didn't believe it. There's no fucking way. What their religious belief happened to just be very convenient for the fucking lifestyle they wanted. No, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. To me, they didn't even believe their own shit. Of course they didn't. And some of her family and stuff believe that she still believes. She does not. No, she doesn't. She's pretending to be goofy and pretending that she still buys into this, because otherwise she has to accept and take responsibility for it. That's it.
And see what they think. And Tanya really was instrumental in creating the witness order that we saw in Chad's trial.
No, I
We had
know.
some new witnesses come in, some that got removed from the list, some
I
that
was
had to
thinking
shuffle.
the same thing.
But we tried to, as much as possible, go from point A clear through the end to
He needed
point
some
B
makeup.
and present it in a very linear fashion. And then we'd also talked about the fact in the opening, I didn't necessarily really flag that there was going to be a timeline that should be followed. So I think Rob did a really good job in his opening of flagging that right at the outset for the jurors.
Oh, interesting. And not only do you have a timeline that's complicated, you have so many people and they have multiple names.
Yes.
So you've got to keep the jurors lined up with Chad is also, James is also Raphael.
Right, all the different
A lot of
names.
the people were surprised who actually came to the trial that there was, that you were civil with the defense attorney during the breaks. Everybody sees TV and thinks that there's fighting going on. And they wanted to know, like, in general, and don't get specific here, but what happens in sidebars?
Generally, sidebars are called because we want to talk about something that we don't know that the jury should hear. So it may be an exhibit needs to be modified. We can talk about that in a sidebar, so we're not flagging the jury to it. It could be one of us has a question about, hey, we want to go here with the evidence. We're a little bit concerned. We want to get an advanced ruling on it. So we have those anytime there's something that could contaminate the jury or somehow create any kind of an issue in our minds, we'll ask for a sidebar to be able to discuss that. Sometimes we may call a sidebar as well just to talk about the schedule for the rest of the day. Where are we at witness-wise? Where are we at time-wise? So they're not always super complicated or intense. It may be just some basic things. We want to have that discussion outside of the purview of the jury.
I think I know your answer to this, and I don't know why you would announce it here, but is anyone else going to be charged in connection to this case? And you're welcome to announce it here if you want.
I would decline to comment on that one at this time.
Understandable. What's next for you?
Well, I was on the ballot for Fremont County again this year, and no one ended up opposing me. So I am anticipating just starting my second term in Fremont County in January.
Hi, Blacks. Sorry. That is super awesome, Queen. Yeah, I do. I color mine with a very, it's made especially for my hair. I told you guys I have the subscription. My hair dye comes on a regular thing. It's made to just cover my, to just do my roots. It just shows up every, what is it? I don't know. Okay, this is almost over, guys. All right, I'm going to go to the restroom real quick while I'm waiting, while we play this part.
Would you ever want to be a judge? Would you ever want to be like attorney general, governor?
I get asked that. I never know where my career might take me. I've made several different jumps in life, so I will never count anything out.
So you might be open to it if the right
Yes.
opportunity came along. Are you into true crime?
Yes.
So you're interested in other cases or podcasts, things like that.
Yes.
I know some people when they get home they turn it off, but you're interested in it. What should people know about the case or about you that we don't know?
Gosh, that's a really good question. I think about me, I found out some people were surprised to learn this. I'm originally from St. Anthony. So for me, when I took that position, it was coming home. And I'll always joke with people that I'm a stereotypical Idahoan. My parents were actually potato farmers. So I have a younger brother that's taken over that family business. But I was born and raised in Idaho. I've worked in Wyoming and Utah as well, as far as an attorney, but ended up coming back to this area.
And anything about the case that you think, or about law in general?
I have people talk to me a lot about whether or not they should go to law school. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I always tell people one nice thing about law is you can actually get a bachelor's degree in anything. And some people don't know that. So if anyone has interest in going to law school, I say get a degree in something that you could use as a backup. So if you get to law school, you don't like it, you've kind of left yourself another career path that you can take. But also don't ever think that you can't do it. People always say law school has got to be so hard. My opinion, anyone can do law school. It's a lot of reading. If people don't like to read, they may struggle with it, but a lot of reading, anyone can do it. But really then come out and make your own career path and don't let the naysayers discourage you. If you want to do something, you can absolutely do it.
Do you plan to follow the Arizona trial for Lori?
Yes, I think I'll at least want to keep some tabs on it, see
Right.
how it goes.
Right.
And I am interested to see how they do their presentation of evidence, what maybe is similar to how we did it, what isn't. Also, I think their prosecutor has a lot of experience. I'm always open to seeing how somebody else does something that maybe a method that I want to adopt or that I think goes really well.
And can you share the cheesy egg recipe?
I can. I wish I had exact measurements though.
Yes.
But I usually just kind of whatever Legend wants, he gets pretty much. But a couple eggs, and then I add some milk, and I'll add the salt and pepper. And sometimes I mix the cheese into it before putting it in. And I always use butter. Some people use like a cooking spray. I always use butter.
Right.
And sometimes I'll fry the egg up first. And usually I think I do it this way. I start the scrambled eggs, and then as they're starting to get done, I'll throw the cheese in and just really mix it in so that it ends up really gooey.
We should have our viewers make their own version, and you could be the judge.
Yes.
The thing is, we probably have 400 people show up with eggs, or have your son be the judge. Yes.
Yes.
Anything you want to add?
I know we got a lot of support from the public through the trial, and really all the kind words that have been said about all of us is really amazing. You don't expect that. In fact, I think in our field you get a lot of criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So to have those really kind words and comments means a lot. I think obviously it's been talked about, but the amount of individuals that were involved in this case and the amount of individuals that either put their lives on hold or made other arrangements to stick with this case through to the end are absolutely incredible to me. The people I met through this case, if we could go back and never have this happen, absolutely that would be my preference. But the people that I've met working on this case are just incredible. And I can't say enough good things about them. I can't say enough good things about our communities that supported us, knowing we were going to be losing some community resources or kind of taking away from our communities a little bit as these trials went on. The amount of local support has been absolutely incredible as well. And then of course the jurors that didn't sign up for this. As an attorney, we know we may get a case like this. We go into criminal law knowing, jurors don't. And so what they had to see and go through, I have a lot of respect and admiration for every one of them. And then of course the victims in this case. I always say I'm a fixer. I want to try to make problems better. And in a homicide case, you can't. And I know we're never going to make things better because we can't bring the beautiful people that were lost back. But I hope that the families have a sense of justice and healing and can start that process of moving forward. But every single victim that I met in this case are just their strength and perseverance with this. I don't know how they did it, honestly. And so I just hope the best for them going forward.
Yeah. Lindsay Blake, thank you so much for chatting with us today, and big kudos to you and your team and all of the other prosecutors that hopefully put an end to this 4 or 5 year saga that's been going on.
All right, there you go. My conversation with Lindsay Blake. Big thanks to her.
Okay. Yes, me too. Me too. I love her even more now. Oh, wow. Sorry, I missed some of this. Oh, I'm so glad you're not in the bushes. Yeah. Thank you so much, though. Yeah, that sounds really good, doesn't it? Hmm. How do you just accidentally make Fritos? Oh my God. I couldn't do it on purpose. Oh my God, right? Oh, Queen. Yeah, that sounds so good. Oh, yeah. Yes, I love her even more now than I did before. Which was already a lot. Sorry, Mr. Snotty's on his way home, so I'm just trying to... He just got in. He was gone for the day. Oh my God. Oh, that sounds so good. Okay, now I'm going to feel like I want to try that, and I bet you it is not going to turn out. Wow. Yeah, now I want chili. I want all of it. I know. I'm just thinking that. I'm like, I'm hungry now. Oh my gosh. Poor Jack has ear infections. So he's allergic to amoxicillin, so he's on the crazy antibiotic. And his tummy doesn't feel good. Oh, he ate really nothing today, very little. And I didn't really eat either. Now I'm really hungry now. We also chilled it before slicing. Okay. I bet you were. I bet you were. I was going to say, I'm thinking all these things are going through my head, like all of that. I know, he was so sweet today. He didn't feel good, but he just wanted Dobby to hold him, and he's so loving. Yeah, he actually he slept for a long time too. His nap. And when he woke up, I held him, he fell back to sleep in my arms for a while and then laid back down again. Like, he just really slept a lot. It was so sweet. I was holding him and doing something. And I turned and looked at him, and he had his lips all out to give me a kiss. I'm like, oh, he's so sweet. So precious. He is such a, oh my goodness. He has his little moments, but I'm telling you, he is such a sweetie. Just love him to pieces. I know. He does it a lot. You look over and he's all, has his lips all out. You're like, oh, I didn't even ask for it. I love it so much. Walking tacos. What is that? You know what? I think I think that's what my daughter did. Like a taco bar with chips. I think she did that for my grandson's promotion party. I know. In the chip bag. Oh, you put it in the chip bag? Well, I didn't do that. Oh, thank you, Gabi. Yeah, he will be. He already doesn't have a fever or anything. Okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't understand that part. I think that is what my daughter was saying. Okay. She had this like taco bar, and then she had a basket full of different chips. Okay. Okay. I just put stuff on my plate and then got some of the chips. I never understood that you would put it in the bag. Now, actually, now that you're saying this, I kind of feel like she did say that, but it didn't register with me because of his age. Him and his friends and my other grandkids and stuff, they wanted it with Takis. I'm not going to eat a Taki at all. Okay, I was going to say, that's what I did. I didn't see anybody else putting it in the bag. I would have noticed that. So people weren't going along with the walking taco. That's so funny. I was absolutely involved with the walking taco, and I didn't quite get it. Oh my God. Yeah, my daughter doesn't let my grandson have them all the time. It's kind of a treat thing because, yeah, it's bad on the stomach for sure. I'm not going to eat one. I don't even, it's so weird how they got so popular because there's actually nothing about them that I like, even if they weren't scalding hot. I am not a fan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was eating them a lot, and he was having stomach problems. And they did also find out that he was lactose intolerant. But immediately my daughter was like, well, those things are going. And she took them off of him for a long time. And now he gets them, but not. Well, he didn't like his stomach pain, so he's not even trying to overdo it with them. Yeah, right, Jerry? Yep. And it's crazy how age changes you, because I've always eaten really hot food my whole life. And lately I can't handle hot food like I could. Not just my stomach, but even my tongue. Like, I just can't. Is it right? I know. I hate that. Oh, really? Oh, does that happen? I don't. My brother had his gallbladder out last week. Has what? Okay, what does that mean? You know what? I worked with a girl one time that, you know how your tongue is kind of bumpy? Hers was like really big bumps. And she said she couldn't even chew like a piece of cinnamon gum. Like, it was just, she couldn't take it. Right. And you know what? I know. I find it a personal thing with, okay, yes, yes. Yeah, hers was like that. I didn't know what that was called. Oh, that does sound really yummy. Yeah. Really freak. Oh my God. I know. I know. Queen, I know. Yeah, Jerry, that's what my coworker said before. Like, a lot of it is, like, it's really hard for it to not be, like, everything to be too spicy. Oh, wow. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Kids, that probably, I mean, that would be hard for me to brush with kids, but Wow, that's wild. Poor thing. Oh my God. You know, I find it a challenge to feed Queen's son. Like, you know, he's very respectful, he's not real loud. I wouldn't say he's quiet, but he's not real loud or anything. But I heard him say, "I'm hungry." And I was like, oh, he needs to eat then, by God. They're like, well, he can't eat anything here. And all I could think was, well, I've got to find something to give him, because if you say you're hungry, I need you to eat. I can't. I can't deal with that. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Wow. No, I get that, Queen. I get it. Like, I totally get it. But it was winding me up. I kept thinking, oh, my God. Like, I could make him a grilled cheese. I just wanted him to eat so bad. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I do know some of that. Freaking. Yes, natural red dye is not good. You know what I did, you guys? In a lot of ways, I'm constantly, I go through a lot. I clean out all my hummingbird feeders. I clean them very thoroughly, regularly. Load them back up. And when I make natural nectar, one time I was like, well, when I buy nectar, it's red, maybe, and I know they like red. So I put red food coloring in it. Oh my God. Right after I got everything all filled up, I'm like, they're going to love it. And I started reading something and I was like, oh, holy fuck. I had to go get it all down right away. Like, might cause them to do something crazy. Good night, Queen. Love you. Thank you. Hello to Mr. Queen. Yeah, I was telling my son about it, and he's like, yeah, even his stepson cannot have red dye at all. He has a reaction to it. I never knew about anything like that. I'm just like, okay, it's food safe. I'm all on it. Really? That's wild. I never heard of orange now. Huh. Well, now I'm just weird about any of it. Like, I'm definitely trying to accommodate and attract hummingbirds. I am not trying to hurt them. Okay, good night, Gabi. It was so good to see you. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Love you. Yeah. Hey, Diamond. Yeah, I always make that. I just one time thought, oh my God. Yeah, I have 5 feeders out there. And I'm always trying to just accommodate them. Thank God for some reason I read something right after I did it and I was like, oh shit. And I pulled it all down. I usually make the nectar, but sometimes if we're going to be going out of town or something, then, and I have a lot to do, I don't ever want them to run out. So I will go and get it. I don't either, but it is there. But I actually had put red dye once. Just once. I got it down right away. Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've never done it again. I don't do it like that again anymore. Because I try to keep flowers, everything that they like. Yeah, how did that work? Like, how did that work for the feeders? I'm afraid of hummingbirds. Oh my God. Oh wow. Yeah, sometimes I have been out there doing stuff with them for them, and like they get really close. Hey Mimsy. Hi. Oh my God, really? Praying mantis killing hummingbirds? What? I've never heard of this. What the hell? How? Oh my God, I don't want to see that. Oh God, I don't want to. I'm scared of that. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that is awesome, huh? I do too, Jerry. I do too. I love it. Mhm. Really, Mimsy? I never heard of that. He has a toothpaste? Wow. I totally want to know about that. I had no idea. What? Oh my God. Good night, Black. Thank you so much for chatting with us. It was awesome. Yeah, I never knew anything about this. I never heard that. I'll be damned. Wow. Where do you get it? That's hilarious. I have got to. Now I want to. Oh my God. I've never heard of a toothpaste without fluoride. Yeah, I would love that. No, yeah, seriously, that is hilarious. Wow. And you like it. I'll be damned. That's funny. I never heard it. Never ever heard that. Really? Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, now I'm excited. Oh gosh. Mims, still no verdict. Oh my gosh. Really? Cindy, burning mouth syndrome? I've never heard of that. Wow, I am so lost with all this. Yeah, Mims, I think, yeah. I would think that they definitely would be. I mean, it's been crazy. Really, man. See, I didn't know that. I really didn't. So, Cindy, what does that mean? What do you do? Are you being a smartass again? So, what do you do? What do you avoid? What do you do to handle? I don't understand. Really? How come I never heard that fluoride's bad for you? What the fuck? Okay, but Cindy, what do you do? What is burning mouth syndrome? So what causes it to burn? How do what did the paperwork say? What does your tongue look like? These chihuahuas want to go outside. Let's go party. Come on, Libby. Go, go, go. Keep shit out of your mouth. Oh God. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this shit up, I guess, because I never. Fortunately, I don't have any of this. Yeah, I only said that because she likes to mess with me. Freaking. I've been friends with Cindy for 30 some years, and she likes to mess with me sometimes. But I really had not heard of it. Seriously? Why? My tongue is very sensitive to spicy food and a lot of other things. It can burn for no reason. They don't have too much info about it in the Western world, he said, and paperwork. Wow. That's crazy. I've never heard of all this stuff. Oh, no worries. I'm very interested in this. I've been doing fluoride treatments my whole life. Delma. Velma, come on. Come on. I'm a silly girl. I'm here to belly rub. This one's got to get her belly rubs. She needs her belly rubs. I want her belly rub, Mama. What's her name? Oh my God. Oh shit, Queen. Oh my God. Oh, Queen, you kill me. Oh, wow. See that, Cindy? Oh, you were too funny. Oh, wow. Oh, guess who's here? Go get him. Go get Daddy. Go get Daddy. Oh my God, Queen, you kill me. I know, Mimsy, right. Oh my God, you guys kill me. Babe? Oh, he's getting the whole Chihuahua welcome. Libby's losing her shit. Can you say hi? People are saying welcome home too.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Good to be home. Slight delay on the flight, but very happy to be home. Thanks for supporting the channel. Smash the like button. You know what to do. All right, I'm gonna go get into something comfortable.
Yeah. Do it, do it, do it.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
Oh. Puppies are very happy. Yeah, he just left this morning. I barely remember. I woke up just for a second when he said goodbye, and then I saw him walking out the door, and then I fell right back to sleep again. I'm cold. Oh my God, Cindy. Wow, for a week. Oh my. Why so long? Did you know that Alex Jones had toothpaste? Toothpaste? He sells toothpaste?
I did not.
No. Without fluoride.
What's surprising?
Did you know fluoride is bad for you?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
I know there are theories that say fluoride is bad. My dad's a spreader.
Right.
Also recommend the coronavirus vaccine.
Mr. Snotty said, he said, I have heard that there are theories that it's bad for you. He said, but my dentist recommended it, but they also recommended the coronavirus vaccine. Oh my God. You all have, oh my God. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to check that out, Mims. I've never gone to that store. I made nachos for dinner and brought, oh wait. Pulled out of the fridge at work and the container came apart. Nachos all over my legs. Oh no, DC, stop. Oh, that sucks. I'm really sorry about that. Oh, really? Cindy, well, that could be a good thing, right? Does that help you not smoke? I would probably do it anyway, which I don't know. Oh, try me. Poor baby. I'm glad you're here. Yes, everything is bad for us. It is. What? What the fuck are you saying, Jerry? Here we go. Trolling me again. Now you know I don't believe anything that you say. Oh my God. Yeah, I get what you're saying, DC. That's the kind of thing I do. Like I have to just, yeah, have a little bit of a fit. Did he say that? Oh, poor thing. What the I never heard any of this shit. What the fuck? Oh, my Lanta. Oh, God. Damn. Yeah, that's a lot for the poor baby. So, Queen, you don't know who Alex Jones is? I don't know that it's a good idea to talk about him.
Now you get shut down.
Yeah. Mr. Snotty just said, no, you'll get shut down. Well, that's definitely he does have some pretty crazy things to say.
It's very controversial.
He's extremely controversial. He's a lot. He's a little much for me. And he's very theatrical, I guess, would be some of it. But I don't disagree 100% with his thoughts. I didn't used to. I don't know. I haven't heard anything for a long time. Right. See, some of his shit is a lot. That's why I'm saying I do know that. I did. That's what I'm saying. I don't disagree with them full-heartedly. I don't. He's a lot though. I mean, like, and he really is a lot. I mean, he'll bust out and just start crying about shit. He has a pretty big following. My God, sorry, that keeps happening. That needs to stop. How many times am I going to let that happen? Right. Yeah, I don't completely disagree with his thoughts about things. I don't. That's going to... Yeah, no, the voice, it is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a lot. Between the shouting and screaming and go into a crazy cry. It's a lot. Right. It is. Well, why would you even think about something like that? How would you know? How do you fucking know? I've never heard him say that. I have heard clips of him literally crying some crazy shit. Try me, bitch. We got on this whole thing about hot food and then people with tongue situations that can't handle spice, and it led into fluoride and all kinds of stuff. See, I can't even imagine why that would even enter your mind. I wish I was Oh my God. I want to eat something too. I don't know what to eat. I don't know what the fuck it means. How would you even know if a frog was? I know, right? Freaking. And you never know when or how it's going to happen. Right, me too. Yeah. Yeah. He has a following. Like, remember back in the, I don't even know if it still happens today. What was that guy? Like I said, I don't disagree with everything he says. I don't. But there's a lot that's a lot. Definitely. I never heard him talk about frogs, but I wouldn't really be. Why the fuck would. I don't know. I don't know. Who was the other one that had a lot of kind of that same type of following? Oh God. Oh God. Oh God, that happened to me and Courtney the other day at Costco. I was so hungry. I wanted to eat everything. I know. Oh shit. Who was that congressman? Dang it. He had the same kind, I think probably the same people. Shit. Oh my God. Ron Paul, right? Is that right? Me too, Mimsy. I can't. With my dental situation that's taking a lot longer to heal, I can't eat everything I want to. His dad, yes, right? He had some of those. I think they were. I feel like they were Alex Jones kind of people. I think so. Yeah, I am really swollen. Well, I went to the dentist tonight. They're open late on Thursdays, so always definitely over the top. I don't think Ron Paul, I don't know. But we were at something years ago, and all of a sudden, like, the doors flew open and these people came in. It was like, what the fuck's going on? I think they were Ron Paul people. I always said they're Ron Paul people, but I don't really know for sure what that means. I had no idea it had to do with the gay frogs. 100% knew nothing about it. Yes. Yeah, they're both doctors. Right. Rand is a doctor also. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he was going to speak at this thing we were at. And I'm telling you, these people blew in and they were there for a reason. That's funny. I had no idea. You know, I really have no interest actually in anybody's sexual preference, but clearly not a frog sexual. I mean, I just don't care. I really don't care. Really? I don't know. I think I like round, but I don't know for sure if I do or not.
You do.
I do?
You do.
Okay. I thought I did.
Trust me, you do.
Well, there's some guy that thinks that Sebastian Rogers is out commingling with creatures. And yeah, you could see him being spoofed on. I don't doubt that he would be spoofed on a lot. Look. So he did say that? Wow. What the fuck why is anybody even thinking about that? Yeah. I mean, people think some weird shit. Rand's neighbor punched him. Did you know that, babe? Rand Paul's neighbor punched him.
Punched me, beat the crap out of me. Broke like 5 of his ribs.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, this was a couple, 3 years ago. He beat the shit out of me. I had to go to the ER.
Why?
We got into this argument over landscaping.
Look, I got you Look up there, babe.
I don't know how you missed them. 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Wow.
And dare I say, celebrated by some idiot who used me there. On one particular side, which is not the right side.
Wow. Yeah. I told you guys, when I stopped paying attention, I stopped paying attention. Yeah, I do remember the Pelosi's husband thing. Only because somebody came in the chat and told me. How do you just attack somebody mowing their lawn? The wide bathroom stance. I did forever, Mimsy. That's all I did. Like literally since I was a young child. I would talk about, oh, I remember that, Jerry. That was a long time ago. Wow. I literally in high school was all up involved in politics. My whole life I was. But the last election took me down to Chinatown, and I had to walk away because otherwise I couldn't take it. Oh God. I'm sorry, DC. I'm so sorry about your lunch. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Love you, DC. Yeah, I stay out of as much as I can because I really can't. I mean, obviously, we've all had to, deal with it and lick our wounds and move on, but that last one was too much for me. I'm eating enough for all of us. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I didn't realize it was so noticeable. Yeah, I do too, actually. Mr. Snotty and I are going to go get have eye exams in the morning. Good night, Jerry. Love you. So hopefully I'm going to be able to sleep good or see good. Wow. Yeah, I think because I was in there and they were fooling with it. Fooling around with stuff. No idea this is going to take fucking forever. Shit. Yeah, I think I'm going to get off here and get some sleep. Jack will be here. Jack's going to be here in the morning. And so we just got different, we got appointments where one of us can watch Jack and then the other one can watch Jack. Oh, thank you, Mimsy. You're so sweet. I love that I've seen you for 3 nights in a row now. That makes me so happy. With the flashlight to fill it, I forgot it was empty until you... Oh my gosh. Oh my God, Diamond. Oh shit. You know, I love the hummingbirds. I love them. Oh. Yes, it's so good to see all of you guys. I love it. Oh. When I see your picture, I get so happy, Mimsy. Okay, good night, you guys. Love you all so much. Thank you. I had such an awesome time with you guys. You guys are so amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, enjoy your late dinner, and I'm going to eat something. I'm going to. Because I'm hungry, too. Good night, guys. Babe, you want to do it?
Good night, Aaron McGinnis, wherever you are.
He was there for that. Good night. Maybe we'll have a verdict tomorrow. Let's hope. Yes. Cross your fingers. Good night.